The debate over return to work. Google employees set to head back into the office today while tensions rise in the financial sector. Banks like J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs want everyone in the office. Then you have Citigroup taking a more relaxed approach. And the debate is leading to what some are now calling the Great Resignation, with millions of people set to leave their jobs. Joining me now is LaSalle Network Vice President Jessica Schaeffer. Jessica, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. What do you know about this Great Resignation? There's so much talk about it in different circles now. And basically, it's that people that have been working from home, if they want to stay working from home, that if they don't have that option, they're going to leave their job. Or maybe they've been in the job during COVID they didn't like, but they figured, okay, well, let me just ride out the pandemic. And then when things get better, I'll go out and get myself a new job. What are you hearing about this?
You've got both sides of the coin. You're exactly right, Cheryl. You have people who have been cooped up for 16 months in jobs that they don't enjoy, but they were too nervous, too hesitant, understandably, to leave that position. And then you have the other side of the coin where people got used to that flexibility and being able to do whatever, whenever, work from wherever. And so companies are saying, hey, get your butts back in the office. And employees are saying, no, 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 there's other companies who are offering me that flexibility that I used to have that I really enjoyed.
I'm hearing that it's really going to happen in the fall, that everyone is basically enjoying their summer. Rightly so. We've had a hard year. And then the fall is when you're going to see this huge change in corporate America.
What we did was survey about a couple hundred CEOs, CFOs, heads of HR to find out when are people coming back, because we really believe that's the tipping point. That's when people will really start to resign. We've seen the quits rate continue to rise over the last couple of months, but what we think we'll see come Labor Day, 4th of July, companies started phasing back in after Memorial Day too, but really fall was what we heard from those CEOs. About 70% said they're going to bring people back in the office come fall of 2021, and that'll be a hybrid model. And so I think that's really when you'll see people start to say, all right, you know what? I don't like this flexibility. I don't like the hybrid model. I don't want to be in the office 3 to 5 days a week. So here's my 2 weeks notice.
Yeah. Or Rob Luna, let me bring you into this, because you've got people that are going to say, I don't want to be at home anymore with my spouse and my children.
Yeah, I think that's true, Cheryl. And I think, to this point, look, COVID lasted for a very long time. When you have something that's a year and a half, almost 2 years that we're headed toward, that's a psychological shift and change in society. So I, for one, really do not believe that we're going back to business as usual. I think more of this hybrid approach is what companies are going to be adopting. And look, a lot of these companies actually became more profitable. People aren't traveling as so much. Those budgets went down. They're not opening and taking as much office space. I actually think this is a good long-term thing for society, a good long-term thing for corporate America. But yeah, of course, more people are planning to go back in the fall. They're going to get in there, decide whether they like it or not. But, the idea of just being able to work from home in your underwear for the rest of your life, I think those days are gone. More of a hybrid approach is what I would expect.
That visual. Oh, gosh. Okay, Jessica, last question really quick. I'm sorry that caught me off guard. So where is the big growth, do you think, right now as far as hiring for jobs?
I mean, we're seeing a lot of markets that are continuing to explode. We're seeing healthcare, we're seeing higher education, technology, professional services. That's the beautiful thing, is it's really all across the board. You're even seeing some of those industries that had taken a hit during COVID start to rise and increase their hiring rates.
I'm also hearing that a lot of tech support jobs are coming back from India in particular, Jessica. I think that's going to be an interesting trend to watch. Jessica, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Interesting topic.
Thanks for having me.
Right, Jessica Schaeffer from LaSalle.